Hello book besties and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be going through some of my 10 favorite books. Some of these books are very well known and some of them have been long-standing favorites that are super underrated. So without further ado, let's get started. The very first book I'm going to be recommending to you guys is The Rom-Commers by Katherine Center. I love Katherine Center, period, end of sentence. Not only is she one of my favorite romance writers, but she's literally one of my favorite writers, period. She writes amazing, quick, fast-paced books with amazing banter, and somehow, every single time she writes a book, you think you're gonna get this light-hearted story, and then somehow she punches you in the face with the saddest subplot ever. How does she do it? I don't know, but literally she's my icon. So in the rom-commers, we are following Charlie and Emma wants to be a screenwriter, and when she gets a call from her friend saying that Charlie needs help rewriting his rom-com script, she says say less, and she flies to LA to go and help him, but he doesn't know, and enemies to lovers ensues, and it's just the funniest freaking story ever. I read this in one day last summer. It's a 5 stars, it's a 6 stars, it's one of the cutest, cheesiest rom-coms ever, but it hits home with the subplot that Emma has, and even with Charlie. There's such a big character arc, and I love their banter back and forth, and it's a fun plot, and I think anybody who wants a fun, quick, fast-paced book is going to love the rom-com by Katherine Center. The second book is The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. I remember reading this book and absolutely laughing my butt off because the main girl in this book, her name is, Delphi. Delphi dies at the very start of the book. And at first I was like, sorry, huh? Because at first when you're reading it, you know she's gonna die, but the fact that the book starts off with the first page being her death, you would think you'd be like, this is not a romantic comedy, but it is. And I think this book is so unique, but it's so freaking funny. Obviously, there's like this big main goal of getting Delphi to live again because she needs to kiss this one guy. And then there's the other love interest, and his name is Cooper. And I fell in love with him. Not just a little bit, but I literally fell in love with him. I was so shocked to find out that this book was really underrated. When I read it, it just came out. Like, no one knew about this book. This is a debut novel, and it had me screaming. And I gave it a 6 star because I loved it so much. I read this, I think it was last July, and I read this just before I read Reckless, and I remember squealing like a little girl. I just had a great time. This definitely is for the romance lovers. I found that it didn't have like any significant amount of spice, so if you don't want spice in your romance books like me, read this book, because I think there's like 2 scenes, and I can't remember completely, and I'm not gonna go looking for them, but there definitely wasn't a significant amount of spice, or I would remember. So I had a great time reading this book. If you like Ashley Poston books, read this book. Now, I told myself I'm not gonna yap about this book for too long because I just yapped about it when I gave my review. So if you guys want a more lengthy review, I will link the video that whenever it gets posted, I'll link the video down below so you guys can see a full review with no spoilers in it. But this book is the favorites, and if you guys liked Carrie Soto as much as me, even if you liked Carrie Soto is Back just a little bit, this book is for you. So in this book, we are following Katarina and Heath, and they are professional ice dancers. When I tell you I was not expecting this book to be as good as it was, that's literally like the understatement of the century, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna like it, but I'm not gonna love it. And I think there was a little part of me that didn't want to get my hopes up too much because I had seen a lot of good things, but I thought maybe I was just gonna feel like, I've never read any books by this author, like, I don't know what to feel, and I don't know how spicy this book is going to be. And I had seen some people who have very similar book taste to me, and they just didn't love it as much as I thought they were going to. They didn't give it a 5 star, they gave it like a 3 star. But this book was so freaking good because it combined Olympic, like this female character that was chasing gold, so very similar vibes to Carrie Soto, but then we have that interview kind of documentary style like we get in Daisy Jones and the Six, but we also get chapters, like it's in between chapters we have the kind of documentary style element going on in between, but instead of being like Daisy Jones and the Six, it's not just the interviews, like you get the chapters from her point of view, and I thought going into it, it was just going to be this documentary style book. I literally fell in love with this book, and I found myself not able to put it down because something would happen, and then right after something happened, another thing would happen, so I couldn't put it down, and I physically felt like I was having heart pain as I was reading this book because I felt like I was Katerina. But it's kind of one of those things where you're in a dream, but you can't control yourself. Does that make sense? Like, I was living in the Olympics. I was an ice dancer, and I was like going through this entire, I don't know, like love story, but also chasing gold, and I was learning to figure skate, and I was just this iconic queen. So I did fall in love with Heath. I love Heath. So if you guys like Daisy Jones, if you guys like Carrie Soto, this book is for you. If you want a book that is going to physically hook onto you and never let you go, read The Favorites. The next book is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I cannot believe I slept on this book for so long. I had seen a lot of good things, but I didn't know what to think. I love this cover so much, and when I tell you, this is the perfect, like, it feels like a mix of enemies to lovers and second chance lovers. Just for a little warning, it was very steamy, but it didn't take away from the book. I did have to flip through, not like a huge chunk, but there were a few scenes that I had to flip through, but it didn't take away from like the romantic and relationship rebuilding because it is second chance. Jessica Joyce's writing style feels very similar to Ali Hazelwood's and Julie Soto's, so I think immediately I just love that writing style. I don't even know how to describe it, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, like, it just feels very personal, and the characters that are telling the book, like the main character, the point of view that you're from, feels like a friend is telling you a story, and you can just instantly connect with the person. It's just, they're funny and they're lighthearted, but they also have that element that I described in Catherine Center's book. They just hit you. And I was sobbing at the end of this book because I didn't want it to end because I loved it so much. So if you want a good romance, I know all of these are like, they're all gonna be romances, but some of them have fantasy, some of them are more literary fiction. All of them have romance because I'm an addict. Like, literally, I just love a good romance. I love obsessing over fictional couples because they're so cute. So if you want a good romance, this was so fast paced. If you like second chance lovers, this book is for you. If you don't like second chance lovers, this book is for you because it will make you like second chance lovers. So give it a shot. Her book is amazing. I cannot wait for her next book. I am on the edge of my seat. I'm waiting. I cannot wait. That book was so good. Okay, the next book is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I cannot tell you how much this book, one, is for fans of Ali Hazelwood, and two, it's just for the romance fans. Because Ali Hazelwood does an amazing job of combining romance with also something that the main character is passionate about, and then making these so intricate and detailed like characters, and then these couples that you fall in love with. So coming off of Not in Love, I was really nervous I wasn't going to like this book because I felt that there was a lack of science in Not in Love, and that's why I didn't love it. So coming into here, and there are a couple of themes in here that you should read the warnings just in case you don't feel comfortable reading it. So reading the warning and going, oh, okay, and I tried it, and at first it was very apprehensive, and then it kind of, not like pulled away, but it kind of felt like it went to like a white noise hum in the background where it was there, but I didn't feel bothered by it, even though it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. I love this book because I like the slow build of the relationship, and then you really get to know the characters. And the one thing that I said earlier is that this is for the Ali Hazelwood fans. Olive and Adam make an appearance in this book, like multiple times. They're a pretty significant side character. Like, they're not like a side character, but they're a really significant guest star. If that makes sense. And I screamed when they went onto the page, and there's so much science in this book, but there's also a lot of swimming, and I just love the way she formatted this book. And honestly, you can't get better. I feel like this is almost, I feel like the swimming makes it a little bit different, but to me this is peak Ali Hazelwood because it was funny, She made me connect to the characters. There was science. We got our favorite babies back, Adam and Olive. I got my husband and my best friend back. I literally was so excited when I read the page and I screamed. When they appeared on the page, I screamed. I did. And I gave this book 6 stars because I am emotionally attached to these pages now. And if you like romance, read this. And if you like Ali Hazelwood, read this. Please give it a chance. Go in with an open mind, because I tried to go in with an open mind and I was happily surprised and I loved it and I just had a great time. Now, the next book, I cannot tell you how much I love this book because I've read it 16 times and nobody's ever heard of this book, but I love it. It's literally one of my favorite books of all time, and it is 10 Blind Dates. Need I say any more? So when Sophie gets broken up with right before Christmas, when she goes to her Nona's house and she has this huge Italian family, which was probably one of my favorite elements of this book, her Nona decides that they are going to have 10 blind dates to set up Sophie so that she's not as sad as she is, because Sophie goes into like complete, I am like so depressed, like this sucks, and she just wants to make her happier. So the family sets up these 10 blind dates, and it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. So when they decide they're gonna do these 10 blind dates, the family basically gets to run up to this board and then sign their name up so that they can set her up a blind date. But the best thing about this book is that it's friends to lovers, but it's like slow burn friends to lovers. And the blind dates in this book are so funny and they just get progressively better. And I love Sarah. Sarah is amazing because she is Sophie's cousin, and then there's also Charlie, who is her other cousin, and then Sarah and Charlie are twins. I love the relationship between the core friends, which is Wes, Charlie, Sophie, and Sarah. I literally love it. And the slow burn of like knowing that Sophie has this big crush on Wes, and you can kind of tell that he has a crush back, but they're not doing anything because they've been friends. There's so many scenes where you're just screaming at them like, get together. It really feels like this Conrad and Belly kind of situation where you're just waiting the entire time. When they finally get together, I screamed. It's a YA book. It's set at Christmas, but honestly, I think you guys can read it anytime. Like, any period during the year. It's so good. Like, literally, when I think about my peak happiness, it's reading this book. If I was going to be in any book, live anywhere that wasn't some other, like, fantasy world, I would be Sophie. Because I love the family elements. It's just so wholesome. And then the blind dates, so freaking funny. And I fell in love with Wes. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. He's just like cutie. I love him. I don't even need to say too much about this book because it's so well known. Magnolia Parks is one of my favorite series of all time, if not my favorite series of all time. I am more of a Magnolia girl than I am a Daisy Hates girl, but I am more of a Julian girl than I am a BJ girl. So, I mean, we've got valid sides. I love them both. Please read this series. If you love Gossip Girl, you are going to love Magnolia Parks. It's literally like the London version of them. And then there's the Addicted series, and I need to get into it because I only read the first book, but that series, as soon as you, I mean, like, this is what I've heard, as soon as you get into the Addicted series, it literally just feels like the American version of this. So if you like Gossip Girl, those are 2 series you need to read. 6-star books. Like, amazing, a 1,000,000-star series. I have, like, my whole shrine up here. And then I have so many things I just, like, are Magnolia Parks themed. Like, I love them. And I cannot wait for the next Daisy Hates book. And it's killing me that it's not coming anytime soon. But another book that did kill me was Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. And this was the 2nd book I read this year. And it has literally kept the #1 spot, my favorite book of the year slot, whatever you want to call it, to this day. It's literally March, and I haven't read a book that I've loved more than this one. In this book, we were following Gwen and Xander. Gwen is a violinist and Xander is a celloist, but he's also like super duper famous. So when she joins the Manhattan Pops, there's this whole like big enemies to lover vibes, and when it starts, it kind of continues from Forget Me Not, which I wish I read first before Not Another Love Song, but I don't know if I would have read this one like without knowing that I loved this book, because I am a Reylo girl. I'm literally just a girl who loves Kylo Ren, and this was a Reylo fanfiction before, and I just can't, like, I can't put into words how much I love this book, because can I tell you guys, I honestly felt like I was in New York, I was Gwen, and I was falling in love with Xander. Please read this. It's amazing. Like I said, if you like Ali Hazelwood, you're gonna love this book. If you're a Raylo fan, you're gonna love this book. If you like romance, you're gonna love this book. If you like reading, you're gonna love this book. If you like New York, you're gonna love this book. If you like rom-coms, you're gonna love this book. If you're obsessed with Adam Driver like me, you are going to love this book. Okay, now we're on the last 2 books, which I feel like I went through those ones really quickly, but we're on the last 2 books. And these 2 books, I feel like one of them is kind of hyped, but not enough. The other one is non-existent, and I don't know why, because I fell in love with these characters a million years ago. I think it was in 6th grade, and I literally thought of them almost. Just like randomly, it'll pop up in my head, I'll go, I love them so much. Like, literally, I love them so much. The book is The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett. This book felt like it was the baby of a Mission Impossible movie, Indiana Jones movie, and a rom-com movie, all in one. The subplot of the romance in this book literally made me scream. I still remember staying up, I think it was like till 2 a.m. and I'm reading this book just to figure out what's happening. The chapters, I think, were quite long because it's like almost 400 pages. It's 370, and there's only 27 chapters in this book, so the chapters were quite long. But this YA, like, it's not even fantasy, it's more like like, what would you even call it? Like high stakes expedition stuff going on. So the FMC in this story, Theodora, her father is like an expedition like kind of guy. Like, I can't remember treasure hunting father. He kind of goes missing and they have to go and find him, and then all of this stuff ensues, and like expedition stuff goes on, like kapow kapow, oh no, we're running from people, oh wait, no, now we're chasing them, no, we're going to get treasure. And then we meet Huck, and I fell in love with him. Like, the slow burn of them getting together was so good, and I can't believe this is a YA, and this was a book that I just randomly picked up. And like I said, this was during when I was in 6th grade. Like, I didn't have book talk. I didn't even have a phone. I was just like going on the shelves. I was like, oh, let me look at the shelves. And I came across this. And I fell in love with it. Like, literally, this book was so freaking good. So you guys have to get on this, because I don't understand why it's so underhyped. Like, no one reads this book. I don't even know one book bestie who's read this book. Read this book. It's so freaking good, and I love it. And now, this girl is my, well, other than, I feel like I talk about Carrie Soto so much that I didn't include her, because I like mention it in almost every single video. But this is my other baby by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it's Malibu Rising. Malibu Rising follows the Rivas siblings, and I think I'm saying the last name correctly. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. But we followed the 4 siblings, and when I tell you I'm obsessed with this book and I still think about the plot, because I love how currently, like, the current 4 books that I feel like everybody fell in love with by Taylor Jenkins Reid are all kind of intertwined. Mick is the guy who almost I feel like every single character knows Mick, and that's their dad, and he's a super famous singer, but he leaves them, so then the children are just with their mom. And when the mom passes away, you kind of have this like past and present timeline kind of going on. Like, it kind of goes back and forth where you have flashbacks, and like, obviously it's been a while, so I can't remember every single detail, but to this day I still remember the ending. And this is where we get introduced to Carrie, and this is where we hate Carrie Soto because we don't really know her, and she's like, but if you read her book, you'll like her. I had to convince my teacher to read it because she loved Malibu Rising, and I said, no, you have to read Carrie Soto is Back, because you will literally fall in love with her book. You will. Like, she's awesome. She's just a girl boss. That's what she is. But this book was so good. It's very literal fiction-y, but it also has this romance subplot, and you have a lot of things going on between the siblings, and getting all these different point of views and different stories, but between the siblings. And then the end is just, it's literally chef's kiss. It's so good, and I think about it all the time. I love this book. Iconic everything. I mean, Taylor Jenkins Reid is just iconic, and I cannot wait for her book Atmosphere. I'm getting jitters just thinking about it. Like, I'm so excited for it. That is the last book. So if you guys liked this video, hopefully you did. I know I do a terrible job at trying to get you guys to read my books. I hope you guys will read them. I hope you guys, if you do read them, tell me. and tell me you love them, even if you hate them. Just lie to me, please. I hope you guys had fun with me though. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Thank you for all of the love and support. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Keep slaying. I love you so much, and bye-bye.